Hello everybody. Today we are focusing Science 1, third chapter, Chemical Reactions and Equations. Now, can you recall why molecules or compound are formed? Molecules or compounds are formed due to the chemical combinations of elements. Means we are say that molecules are formed, it is a combinations of two or more elements. And when we are say compound, two or more elements chemically react to each other and newly substance is formed is known as compound. This is achieved by the formation of bonds in order to attain octet in outermost shell, that is valence shell. Means there is an how much electrons are present in outermost orbit, means outermost shell. According to that, bonds are formed. Means to complete the octet state, how many electrons are donated, means giving, taking or sharing, that time bonds are formed. And due to this bond, the compounds are formed. Atoms attain this by giving, taking, sharing electrons. So the bond is formed because of only some electrons are given, some electrons are taking, or sometimes it isn't shared by atoms. So what is the valency of element? Valency means you all know that. You all learn about in last year. You all learn in last year. The number of electrons that atoms of an element gives away, take up and share during the chemical reaction is called valency. If you know the valence electron means the electron which consists in the outermost orbit is known as an valence electron. And if we know the valence electron, according to that, to complete the duplet means 2, and complete the octet state means 8. Some atoms donate or gain or share the electron. So, this number is called as an valency. Now, next point, chemical reactions. You have given example, breathing, burning of gasoline, baking. Now first, breathing. In breathing, actually, we are take the oxygen. When we are say inhale, we are take the oxygen. And when we are say exhale, we are liberated carbon dioxide. Means here is also chemical reaction is take place. Burning gasoline. In this, if you have burned the gas, that time chemical reaction is take place. Baking. In this case also, chemical reactions happens when we are bake it. All the chemical reactions involve the two types of substance, reactant and product. Reactant means what? A substance which is a take part in the chemical reactions is known as an reactant. Means you are given definition here, a substance that are taking a part into the chemical reactions. And product means whenever there is an substance reacted to each other and after the chemical reaction newly the substance is formed is known as an product. So the definition is a substance that are produced by chemical reactions. Now next is reason for reactions. Why the reactions are take place? That reasons we are want to focus on that. First, the arrangement of electrons in outermost shell of an atom determines the type of bonds it forms. Means, in outermost orbit, how much electrons are present, according to that, the bonds are formed. Below we are want to focusing on that ionic bond and covalent bond. So, ionic bond, especially for completing the duplet state and octet state, when the electrons are donate and gain and share the electron, that time that bonds are formed. But some elements that they are not donate, gain and share the electron. They already complete their octets as well as duplet state. So, they are called inert gas element. An atom with a complete octet or duplet state of valence electron will not form a bond. Example, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Such elements, they are fulfill their duplet as well as octet state. Hence, they are not share, gain or donate the electrons to the other elements, and hence they are called noble gas elements also or inert gas elements also. Next, an atom with an incomplete octet or doublet of valence electron will form a bond. Means, if its octet state is an incomplete or duplet state is an incomplete, that time the electrons are donate or gain. So the bond is formed. On this depend, there are the two types. Chemical bonds are two types. First, ionic bond. Ionic bond, due to the electrostatic force of attractions between the positive cation and negative anions ions. Means, here you are given one example. Sodium chloride NaCl forms due to the electrostatic force of attraction between Na plus and Cl minus ions. Means what? What is an positive ions? Means cation. See, we are focusing on sodium. Atomic number of sodium is 11. So, electronic configuration of sodium 281. So, their outermost orbit contain only one electron. So, to complete the octet state, they are required 7 electrons. But no other elements of atom gives 7 electrons to sodium. So, in this case, sodium have a tendency to easily donate 1 electrons to other elements of atom and form the positive ions. This is called as an cation. Now we are focusing chlorine. Atomic number of chlorine is 17. So electronic configuration is 287. So outermost orbit contains 7 electrons. To complete the octet state of the chlorine required only 1 electrons. So, chlorine atom gain electrons from other elements, especially we are say from sodium. That time he fulfill their octet state. So, sodium donate 1 electrons and chlorine gain 1 electrons. And due to the gaining the 1 electrons, chlorine form a negative ions, that is called anion. So, sodium become a positive and chlorine negative ions. So due to the donating electrons by sodium and gaining one electron by chlorine, the bond is formed between them. And this bond is called as an ionic bond. And due to this, the compound is formed is sodium chloride ionic compound. Now, we are going to the next bond, covalent bond. This bond is formed because of the sharing of electron. You are given an example, that is an formation of H2O2 molecules. That is an H2 molecules, how it is informed? You know that is an atomic number of hydrogen is 1. So, electronic configuration is 1. The first shell, it is an last shell of hydrogen, and hence they require to complete the duplet state by gaining or sharing the one electron. So when the hydrogen molecules is formed, it consists the two atoms of hydrogen. Both this hydrogen, they are share the one electrons to each other, and hence they are form bond. So they are not net positive charge and no net negative charge, because they here no gain or not donate any electron. Only they share the electron, and hence they are form covalent bond. So due to this, the covalent compound is formed, means hydrogen molecules is formed. Okay, in a similar way, the oxygen molecules also form. That is an oxygen atomic number of oxygen, it is an 8. So electronic configuration is 2 and 6. The outermost orbit contains 6 electrons. So second oxygen atom also share the 2 electrons with the first oxygen atom. So both this atom of oxygen share the two electrons to each other and form covalent bond and form O2 molecules. Now we are going to the next point, chemical equation. When the reactant and product are react to each other, the chemical reaction is take place. Now these chemical reactions, if we are write in word form, then it is called word equation. The representations of chemical reactions in condensed forms by using a chemical formula is called chemical reactions. So, you are given an example. In this example, when zinc dust is added to the blue solution of copper sulfate, colorless solution of zinc sulfate is formed. Means the zinc dust is reacted, means zinc dust is added to the copper sulfate solution. Due to this, the reaction is take place and colorless solution of zinc sulfate is formed and copper is formed. So in word equation, we are right in the next line, you see that the aqueous solution of copper sulfate plus zinc dust, this arrow indicate that is a reaction, chemical reaction is take place and gives the product. So this horizontal arrow indicate formation of product. The aqueous solution of copper sulfate plus zinc dust gives the aqueous solution of zinc sulfate plus copper. In such an example, we are write in word form, reactant as well as product. So this is a word equation. Now the next, when we are write chemical equation in the chemical form, means by using a molecular formula of reactant and product, then chemical reactions here are given below, that CuSO4 plus zinc gives ZnSO4 plus Cu. So CuSO4, this is an copper sulfate. Zinc and they are react to each other, and afterwards zinc sulfate is formed and copper is also formed. Next, when we have say that chemical reaction is take place, there is some rules and regulation for writing the chemical equations. Now below you have given some rules how we are write the chemical equations. The first one, the reactants are written on left hand side and product on right hand side. When we are write a chemical equations, always we are write reactant on left hand side of the chemical equations and product on right hand side. Second one, the direction of the reaction is given by an arrow. That is when we are chemical equation write, reactant and product बीच में हम लोग arrow लिखते हैं. The direction of arrow is always towards the product. Third one, two or more reactant or products are linked by plus sign. Suppose in some chemical reactions, if there isn't two or more reactant is there and two or more product is there, they are linked by using a plus sign. Next, physical state of the reactant and product is indicated by the symbols. If we want to show the physical state of the reactant and product also, we are easily indicated by using a symbols, that is an first gaseous state, in bracket we are write G. If it is a liquid state, then we are write L, in bracket L. And if it is in solid state, in bracket we are write S. So in that way we are indicate their states also of reactant and product. If it is an aqueous solution is formed or aqueous state we are want to indicate, then in bracket we are write AQ. AQ stand for aqueous. So now in next example you see that we are at the states of reactant and product also. So CuSO4 aqueous plus zinc solid gives ZnSO4 zinc sulfate aqueous plus copper. So in that way we indicate their states of reactant as well as product. Now next is if we are supply the heat for chemical reaction, that time we are use triangle. So heat supply we are indicated by triangle. So below you are given an example, calcium carbonate, that is in CaCO3 gives CaO plus CO2. Here triangle indicate that we are supply the heat for formation of product. So for heat indicate करने के लिए we are use a triangle in this case. Next reason, heat is and release is also mentioned in the equation. So example, you are given copper sulfate aqueous plus zinc gives zinc SO4 means ZnSO4 plus Cu plus heat. When we are write that is an heat words to the right side of the product, means that there is an heat right side we are right, means there is an heat is liberated in these chemical reactions. Okay, heat is liberated, so we always write to the right side. So this is called as an exothermic reactions. Next, specific conditions like pressure, temperature, catalyst, etc. are written above or below the arrow. Now you see that for chemical reactions, we are supply the pressure, or we are supply the temperature or pressure, or we are using a catalyst. That time we are use their symbols or above the arrow or below the arrow. So below you are given one example related them. Vanaspati oil plus H2 gives nickel Ni, stand for nickel, as a catalyst, and 60 degree that we are provided temperatures. So above the arrow we are at 60 degree and below we are at nickel symbol, that is an Ni, indicate that is an this reaction is an happens at 60 degree in presence of nickel catalyst, and we are got it that is an product vanaspati ghee. So in that way we are used to showing temperature as well as catalyst. Now next is an specific information. The reactant and product are written below their formula. Example, copper with a concentrated nitric acid gives reddish color poisonous nitrogen dioxide gas. Means when copper is reacted with nitric acid, concentrated nitric acid means pure form, and it gives the reddish color of copper, nitrate, nitrogen dioxide and water form. So CuS means copper in solid state, we are say that, plus nitric acid is reacted with copper reacted and form copper nitrate, nitrogen dioxide and water. So Cu plus 4HNO3 gives CuNO3 twice plus 2NO2 plus H2O. So copper with dilute nitric acid gives nitric oxide. So in below this we are say that Cu plus 8HNO3 gives CuNO3 twice nitrogen monoxide plus water. Okay, so these are the symbols as well as we are used for indication states and their concentration specific conditions also we are used for them. Now next is if gas is liberated in the reactions, we are used upward direction arrow. So gas is indicated by upward arrow where is an insoluble substance are formed in the chemical reaction. It is called as an precipitate. It is indicated by the downward arrow. So in this example, that is in silver nitrate is reacted with sodium chloride, gives AgCl plus sodium nitrate. So here we are say AgCl, that is in silver chloride, it is in precipitate form. So indicated by downward direction arrow. Okay. Now balancing equation, we are going to the next point. Here now we are going to the next point, balancing chemical equation. Chemical equation is said to be balanced if the number of atoms of all elements on both sides are equal. Okay, means first chemical reactions obey the law of conservation of mass. Means the law of conservation of mass, matter is neither be created nor destroyed. Total mass of the reactant must be the equal to the total mass of the product. Means mass of the reactant and mass of the product are always equal. Now, for mass to remain a constant before and after the chemical reactions, the number of atoms of each element must be the same before and after the chemical reactions. Means after the chemical reactions, the number of atoms of reactant as well as product are always same. Okay. Now, balancing equation. We are take the one example here. Chemical equations is said to be balanced if the number of atoms of all the elements on both sides are equal. This is very important. ये ध्यान में रखना है आप लोगों को. The chemical equation when we are want to balancing, there is a number of atoms of all elements on both sides. Both side means reactant left side and product right side of chemical equation are equal. Now here is you are given one example. Silver nitrate is reacted with sodium chloride gives silver chloride and sodium nitrate. Now when you observe properly, see that AgNO3 plus NaCl, there is a not arrow here but arrow is always present there, that is gives AgCl plus NaNO3. Now we are make a table and make a chart. That is in this table you see that 3 columns are there. First is an element, second reactant left side of the chemical reaction equation, third column product right side of the chemical equation. Now one by one we are write the symbol of elements. Number of atoms, elements, symbols, number of atoms LHS and number of atom RHS. So silver Ag, reactant में 1, product also contain 1 atom. Nitrogen reactant side means left side में 1, right side also 1. Oxygen 3 LHS में and RHS also have a 3. Sodium 1 in LHS means left side and RHS means right side. Chlorine 1 in left side and 1 right side. Means both side the number of atoms are equal. So such a chemical reactions or chemical equation we are say it is already balanced. So this is a balance equation. Why we say balance equation? Because in both sides the number of atoms of all elements are equal. If it is an unbalanced equation is there, and how we are make balance that? Now see here, a trial and error method is used for balancing the equation. Example, sodium hydroxide is a react with sulfuric acid to give sodium sulfate and water. Now what equation we are write here? Sodium hydroxide plus sulfuric acid gives sodium sulfate plus water. This is in what equation? Now chemical equation we are write sodium hydroxide means NaOH plus H2SO4 gives Na2SO4 means sodium sulfate plus H2O water. Now step 1, step by step we are make to balancing. Check the number of atom of various elements. फर्स्ट स्टेप में हम लोग क्या करने वाले हैं, टू चेक द नंबर ऑफ एटम्स ऑफ वेरियस एलिमेंट. सो वी आर टू मेक द टेबल containing 3 columns, elements, reactant LHS, product RHS, number of atoms in both sides. So we are one by one, we are write the symbols of element: sodium Na, oxygen O, hydrogen H and sulfur S. Now first, sodium. In LHS, number of atoms is 1. RHS, number of atom is 2. Means there is a variation is there. Oxygen, number of atoms in LHS 5. In product side also 5. Hydrogen, number of atoms of hydrogen in LHS side 3 and RHS side 2. Sulfur, both side there is an 1 1. Now in steps 2, we want to start the balancing the equation. Now start balancing the equations from the compound containing the maximum number of atom. So in this case, that is an sodium sulfate and sulfuric acid. This is an, we are say sulfate atoms, sulfate, that is an radicals are present. So now we are make them for, especially for sodium atom, we are concentrate on that. So number of, we are make a table containing the same 3 columns, number of sodium atom. One by one we are going to the elements. तो फर्स्ट एलिमेंट्स के हम लोग फोकसिंग करेंगे. नंबर ऑफ सोडियम एटम्स, रिएक्टेंट एंड प्रोडक्ट. इनिशियली हाउ मच, that is in present 1 1 1 LHS and RHS 2. So balancing, for the balancing we are multiply by 2 in LHS and RHS multiply by 1. So it is become 2 2. So when we are want to balancing, we apply this 2 digit before the NOH molecules. So just like as a coefficient, this 2 is applicable for sodium, oxygen and hydrogen also. Okay, but for focusing sodium, the sodium is an LHS and RHS, it is an balance. The number of atom in LHS and RHS are equal. Now we are going to the next steps for balancing hydrogen and oxygen. Now number of atom in H and O are not matching. First balance the hydrogen as it requires a smaller factor. Once again we have make the table containing 3 columns: elements, reactant LHS, product RHS, number of atoms, sodium both side 2 2, hydrogen LHS में 6, RHS 5, oxygen 4, RHS 2, sulfur 1 and 1. Now apply the factor 2 to H2O on product side. So balance the equation. Now we are want to balance the hydrogen atom in LHS side and RHS side. So we are take the factor 2 and apply in front of H2O just like as in coefficient. So it is an apply to hydrogen molecule, hydrogen atoms and oxygen also. So initially we are make a chart and same way we are write number of atoms of hydrogen, reactant, product. Okay, initially reactant sodium hydroxide NaOH and H2SO4, there is also hydrogen is present. So initially how much we are counted, there is an 4 and in RHS only 2 are there. To balancing we are multiply the product side, the number of 2 is multiplied by 2. So 2 to 4. So we are make a balance. So new equation will be we get here. Here 2 is not written, but still there is an, we are balancing किया है तो 2 यहाँ है. 2 NaOH plus H2SO4 gives Na2SO4 plus 2H2. Now in this reaction, number of all the elements on both sides found to be equal. Hence this reaction is in balance. So now once again we are at this balance equation. 2 NaOH plus H2SO4 gives Na2SO4 plus H2O. So in that way we are, that is an